Vervlamste. The snake APET. We are not looking for an animal, of course. We are looking for an energy form. In a previous video, The Eye of Ra, I showed you there are two energy forms in our crater. The parasitic one, the double pyramid system, and the 124875 system. Now let's put some of these systems on top of each other and draw a line. That looks familiar? Take a look at another phenomenon, the analemma. As the moon is the reflection of Earth, take a look at the movement of the moon. But to see the exact movement of the moon, I did some motion tracking. You can clearly see the same 8 form. Now let's do an experiment. Put a laser on a right rotating ball and let it make the exact movement as the moon. What line would it be drawing in the firmament? That looks like the exact form of APET. The sun was Ra's great barge, which sailed through the sky from dawn to dusk, and then descended into the underworld. As it navigated through the darkness of night, it was attacked by APET, who sought to kill Ra and prevent sunrise. To prevent this, Ra had 6 curses: spitting upon APET, defiling APET with the left foot, taking a knife to smite APET, and putting a fire on APET. Well, they really must be scared of APET. Here we see the sun god Ra in the form of a great cat slaying the snake APET. Let's take a look at our crater and the organic energy. You have the tree of life created by the APET energy. On top of this energy was put the parasitic energy. Ra is spilling the blood of APET. Osiris, ruler of the underworld, defending himself against APET with the crook and flail. Here you have the crook, but what is the flail? To understand this, we have to go to the story of Adam and Eve. You have the tree, the Taurus. You have the snake, the energy, but what about Adam and Eve? Remember, the story in the Bible, the Genesis, is the story of the gene of Isis. It is the story of the parasite. Atum makes a clone of himself, Adam. Did Atum make a female mirror image of himself? It might be coincidence, but the mirroring of Atum is Mutter, Moeder, mother. Adam and Eve had 3 children, Seth, Cain and Abel. Let's take a closer look at the story of Cain and Abel. Remember, in a previous video I explained the system of a galvanic cell, where the zinc anode is losing weight and the copper cathode is gaining matter. Cain represents the cathode, the copper. Abel represents the anode, the zinc. The story of Cain and Abel is the story of an electrical process. On one side you have the copper, the cathode, Cain, the crook, and on the other side you have the zinc, anode, Abel. So how would you represent Abel then? Well, remember the Tower of Babel, the Twin Towers, were in my view the negative pole of an electrical circuit. It were the rods of the fasces. That makes of Abel the negative pole, the rod. So this instrument, in my view, is not a flail. Let's take a look at Mithras. Mithras and Osiris are the same person in my view. The cane and the rod, the positive, the negative. With Mithras you see the sword and the torch, so the torch are the rods. Another depiction of Mithras. And here again Mithras with the rods. So here is the story. Mithras is putting one pole into the energetic center of the torus. Rods on the left, rods on the right, and this electrical system is creating the dome. This system also creates the reflection of the sun and the moon. Here we see it again, but in this version Mithras is coming out of the egg. Why the egg? Well, an explanation could be, you take the parasitic system, it creates a dome. This dome reflects the form of the earth into the firmament. Maybe the organic system is also creating a dome, but a different one. So maybe in the APEP system you would perceive the reflection of Earth as an egg, the serpent and the cosmic egg. Let's take a look at the Hadron Collider, or should we say the Hydra Collider. The Hydra was a mythical snake decapitated by Heracles, Hercules, Conan the Barbarian. In Egypt we see depictions of how they are tapping into APEP. How are they doing it now? Let's put the map of CERN on top of our crater. Take a look at the 6. When you compare our brain with the form of the crater, it points straight at our pineal gland. That is no coincidence. So the parasites are tapping into the energy of the APEP snake. So what is happening now in the times of confusion? Is this figure turning left or is it turning right? Well, both are possible. Depends on how you are using your brain. I have seen it go in both ways. The left turning brain is saying to the right turning brain, "Oh, you are conspiracy theorists." And the right turning brain is saying to the left turning brain, "You are all sheeple." So they must be both right. Well, if you compare our brain with our crater, remember our crater was flooded in 1259. That means half of the crater is frozen. That means our APEP brain is in complete disorder.
One of the most amazing theological, musical, and poetic ways, the unique.
Take a look again at the parasitic energy. The two snakes. Red snake, blue snake. Red pyramid, blue pyramid. And on top, the wings of the parasite. Naga and Nagini. The red snake tongue with the blue background. Two pyramids and two snakes. So when you have enlightenment in this system, the Kundalini experience, you will always encounter winged beings, aliens, gods, angels, elves, outer body experiences, chakra activation, moving up to the fifth dimension, whatever that may be. All these events are happening in the counter-rotating pyramid system, the parasitic bubble. Compare that with the 3 APEP energy.
And that gives you a sense of superiority in the enlightenment and so on. But there is a different form of, I won't go into it because you all are eager. I am not touching it. That can only happen when the self is not. Then there is a totally different kind of energy to keep the mind fresh, young, alive. And that can only come when there is absolutely no sense of the self. Right? Obvious reason. Because the self, the me, the center, is in constant conflict, right? Wanting, not wanting, creating dualities, opposing desires, this constant struggle that's going on. As long as that struggle is going on, there is a wastage of energy, obviously. When that struggle is not, there is totally different kind of energy taking place.
we have the movements. In the movements, we can feel energy going through the body according to the arms and legs gestures in the form.
There are other times when the left hand actually mirrors the right hand. And so you do exactly the opposite just to create a sense of flow. There are other times when the left hand really does things that are additive.
Buddha is showing us the energetic center of our crater. But beware of the parasites, showing us the real energetic center, but at the same time introducing a new one. Another parasitic attempt, but with the wrong energetic center. The pentagram, that seems to be a shortcut. Inside the temple of Hathor in Dendera. On the right you see this image. Take a side view of our crater Sulpicius. I think the bark is our crater. Zoom in on the energetic center, the lotus, and on top of it, of course, the primordial snake, APEP. This was the original electrical pattern. Zoom out and go to the left through the parasitic overlay, the two-snake system, the two domes, counter-rotating, zoom in on the Ka figure and the Ba figure, of course. So you have the two figures, Shu and Gep. Shu is the Ka and Gep is the Ba. This is the Egyptian version of Cain and Abel. Shu is the Ka holding up the firmament. Here you see the double firmament. Take a look again at the Egyptian creation myth. To the Jew, the Aket. In the Hathor temple you have another depiction of the Jew and the Aket, the side view of our crater, and on top you have Nut, the firmament, where the sun and the moon are created.